Are you collapsing or committing? So here we are, Sunday, February 23rd, and I want to take a minute, just kind of let you check in on what I'm doing. So I was off of work today, and I had the chance. For some people, a Sunday is a day off. I wanted to seize the opportunity to take a day on. So what do we do? Well, we launched with Owners Club. We had a Zoom this morning. It was a fantastic one, very inspiring, which PACE often is, but if you are very familiar with PACE Morby and the Sub-2 community like I'm a part of, you know that PACE is great at stories, and sometimes that means you don't get all the nuggets up front. You know, they're intermingled and they're scattered in his stories or the recap after his stories. But today was just filled with great content. Very encouraging, uplifting, and really helped inspire by him sharing more of his vision of what we've got coming up. Went from there to a check-in. My wife and I try to do a weekly check-in. It gives us a chance to touch base on some of our goals, our progress, as well as plan out our calendar for the week. Sometimes look a little further ahead. Then went to our weekly church service. We do try to go and worship together with our local church body. What came next? Well, next was family time. We had to drive a little over an hour, about an hour, 15 minutes, over to Franklin, Tennessee. Had lunch there, great lunch at Uncle Julio's. So if you've ever been there in Franklin, it is good Mexican food. I celebrated my nephew's birthday. So if you've got maybe a niece or nephew, their birthday's coming up, make sure you don't forget them. But even feel free to text me in the messages. Everett is his name. Just say happy birthday, Everett. I'll pass that along to him. I know he'd love it. When we got to go, we hung out at their house for a little bit afterward with my sister and her family. We had to travel home about an hour 15 back. Now, one of the things that PACE encourages us to do is to be efficient. Okay, so when we're traveling back, we're not just cruising, listening to the radio. We're having some conversations about, some of the goals that we're pursuing, and then we also turned on one of the presentations from the Sub-2 Vault. We're listening to Pitch Please, one of the newer series in there. Really good, highly recommend it. We're just getting started. We've got more to watch in there, but definitely looking forward to checking out more of the Pitch Please from the Sub-2 Vault and the new content that rolls out with it. We get home, it's getting late, so what is it? Well, it's bath time. Again, PACE wants us to be efficient, and so bath time for the kids was not bath time for me. It was time to pick up the dirty dishes, unload the dishwasher, reload the dishwasher, get the laundry moved from the washer to the dryer, and get that going. Then right afterward, I got to have a little quality time, watched a couple quick shows with my daughter that she's been wanting to get to watch, and then also an episode with my wife. So we got to have just a little good downtime. But I don't get to just spend all my night in downtime. Like I said, this isn't a day off, it's a day on. Okay, we've got to seize these opportunities, make the most of our day. So what came next? Working out. Chest and triceps was today. What we do again, back to the Sub-2 Vault. Today, as I listened and worked out, was listening to the seller objections. Some of those that we run into frequently. So we looked some at maybe they wanted too big of a down payment. Maybe they were unfamiliar with Sub-2. It's like, well, is this even legal? And got to talk some about its legality and possible other alternative options like an agreement to sale. Of course, the prep for this video. So here we are, we're shooting it now. Hi, video time. But that still doesn't wind it up for the night. I still have other things to do. Big thing, we got a wholesaler I've worked with in the past. In fact, he's actually where I got our first Sub-2 deal from. Really had a great experience with this guy. He sent me some other leads, and I'm going to be reviewing those, seeing if those might be a good fit for us to add to our portfolio, or if I can help point them and maybe bring him some value by finding another buyer for those. Here's what's most important. Last week, 5 of 7. What does that mean? Last week, I worked out 5 out of 7 days. Doesn't mean I was pushing myself super hard, but I did something some kind of workout, maybe a little light cardio. Maybe I was doing the weightlifting 5 out of 7 days. Well, why does that matter? It may not to you, but it matters to me because it's mid-February at this point. Where are your resolutions? You set a goal for the new year, and mid-February, where's that at? It's probably, if you wrote it down, it's probably lost in a stack of papers, maybe thrown in the garbage, or maybe you still have it somewhere and just disregard it. It's become part of the scenery now. But I decided to recommit to my health and my goals here in mid-February. And I want to be recommitting myself each day and each week and each month because I'm worth it. My future is worth it. I have too many people to help. I can do things in a selfish way, and that will take me so far. Okay, great. You know, I've got a good job. That's fantastic. But if I'm only focused on me, then I'm not winning. I have to help the other people around me be lifted up, and that's when I can truly win. And by bringing them up, it's kind of like the old adage, like when the tide comes in, all boats rise together. And that's what I want. I want to be bringing in others that we collectively bring in the tide. We make the boats rise, and we collectively win and succeed. So if you are wanting to know more about subject 2 in that community, I'd love to talk with you. There's so many great people in here, so much great content. Man, the Zoom vault is packed. We talked about a couple very different things here that I've listened to today, and that just doesn't even scratch the surface as what Pace and the community has included in those. He's been great about even bringing in experts in other fields that can really deep dive into some great topics. So, come check us out. Maybe you like in-person stuff. We're still just around the corner right now from Squat Up Summit. So that's coming up in March. So grab your ticket. If you don't have it yet, if you want to go, man, great chance to meet some people, build some new relationships. Whether you've done 0 deals, 5 deals, 500 deals, Squat Up Summit is a great place to be. There's going to be some great speakers there. It was just fantastic last year, mind-opening really for myself and for my wife, Michelle. So grateful that she got to be there. Otherwise, we probably wouldn't have been an owners club. By the time I got her on board, it would have been filled up. But thankfully, she was there, and she was able to see the vision that Pace was starting to lay down. And this year's just been the foundation. And we're going to continue to grow and lead, and we want you to be a part of it. So come along, reach out to me whenever I can help. And again, just give Everett a little shout out, say happy birthday, Everett. I'll pass that on to him. It'll make his day. Thanks, everybody.